Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, October 3rd reveal that Jeremy Horton will return while Paulina Price's fury is unleashed. Some Thomas Dimera is also on the way for Chad Dimera. So let's discuss all the excitement ahead on Days. First, on Friday's Duel episode, Jeremy Horton's homecoming will make some waves. Since Jeremy is back and has a new job, Julie Williams will congratulate him as they spend some time catching up. As for Stephanie Johnson, she'll struggle over Jeremy's return since he's her ex and was abusive to her in their past relationship. Stephanie will have a lot of inner emotional turmoil going on as Alex Kyriakis quizzes her. Before Stephanie can spill the details of her romance with Jeremy, he'll show up to see her with a bouquet of flowers. Days spoilers say Jeremy will be eager to make amends for his past mistakes and may be hoping for another chance with Stephanie. However, Stephanie has moved on with Alex, who'll no doubt be protective of her the moment Jeremy crashes back into her life. Other Days spoilers say Paulina will put Dimera on full blast over the blackout. Will be on the receiving end of Paulina's wrath, but he'll do his best to downplay his involvement in the citywide power failure that happened recently. Over with Kat Green, she'll join Gwen von Leuschner at the bistro for a meal and some gabbing. Kat will pretend to be Gwen's friend and perhaps try to manipulate her into answering some EJ-related questions. As for Chad, he'll speak with Kat in the town square and assure her that he's still all in on telling his family about their romance. Chad will smile and insist there's no turning back now, but he'll also start to fret over Thomas's behavior. Thomas knows Chad lied and that he's now dating Kat, who previously pretended to be deceased, Abigail Dimera. All that's been a lot for Thomas to handle, so Chad will pick up on some weirdness and question his son eventually. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Chad will have to face Thomas's complaints sooner or later, so stay tuned for updates on the bad news that's brewing. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that Sophia Choi may grab the baby and run at some point. Sophia might decide to escape with Tesoro once her plan blows up in her face, so let's discuss how it all could go down. It's clear that Sophia's gotten in over her head when it comes to her latest scheme. Sophia spiked Holly Jonas's drink, but she didn't anticipate that Holly would accidentally set a dorm fire and sleep through the alarm that followed. Duel fans know Holly could have died if it hadn't been for Brady Black pulling her out of that smoke-filled room. Of course, Sophia also wrecked things for Johnny Dimera and Chanel Dupree Dimera, with all her complaints as the anonymous birth mom. Now Chanel's worried they might never be parents, but Days spoilers say Johnny may unravel the truth with Brady's assistance. Tate Black may play a role in that as well, if he figures out Sophia was disposing of Holly's phone when he tried to help her at the trash can. Sophia texted a scandalous Holly pic to Johnny before ultimately turning off the phone's location services, resetting it and dumping it outside the pub. Despite Sophia's efforts to cover up her part in this mess, things will just keep getting messier instead. Days spoilers suggest that the more everyone digs for answers, the more clues are going to point straight at Sophia. Brady was confused over Tesoro's DNA results, but he's getting Kayla Johnson to run the test again and can't let go of the idea that Tesoro's at the center of some Sophia drama. Even if Aaron Green or someone else is Tesoro's father instead, Days spoilers say Brady won't rest until he uncovers the whole story. The same goes for Johnny, so Sophia may wish she'd never carried out her latest sabotage plan by the end of all this. In fact, Sophia may start to wish she'd just kept Tesoro and avoided this nightmare. It's easy to imagine Sophia grabbing the baby and going on the run once she's backed into a corner. Sophia might escape with Tesoro and kick off a desperate search sooner or later. Since Sophia gave up her parental rights, she could find herself facing kidnapping charges and some frantic Salemites. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Sophia will struggle as the walls close in, so stay tuned for updates on all shocking news and explosive moments. At the hospital, Brady is stunned to learn from Kayla that Tesoro and Tate aren't a match and thinks it's back to square one. He doesn't even suspect for a moment that Tate isn't the baby's father, because things like that never happen in Salem. Brady thinks about his dad and how he'd know how to handle this situation. He believes Sophia was carrying a boy, so why is she lying about the sex and saying she delivered a girl? Maggie arrives, having heard about Holly. Kayla says she's fine, just some smoke inhalation, and Brady reveals he found her passed out drunk. In Holly's room, Tate cries at her not to give up on them now. Holly tells him that he's blown up what's left of their relationship, and she can't be a part of this triangle anymore. She tells him to go. Maggie arrives and comforts her granddaughter as Tate says goodbye and heads out. Holly cries that she messed up, she drank too much, and knocked a candle over that caused a fire. She says she fell apart because Tate cheated on her again. Maggie tells her that alcohol, drugs, and breaking the rules aren't the answer to problems and pain. Holly knows she's screwed up, but promises to do better. Maggie forgives her and promises she'll always be there for her, so call her next time she's hurting. In the hallway, Kayla must get back to her rounds, and Brady thanks her for her help. She tells Brady not to give up, and she and Steve want him and Tate to find some peace. Soon, Tate appears and talks to his dad about his latest screw-up before he heads off to work. Later, Kayla heads in to see Holly and Maggie. She's ready to discharge her, but first gives her a talk about alcohol and orders her to rest. Holly says she needs to return to the dorms and apologize to everyone, and she must also find her phone. At Chanel and Johnny's place, Johnny swears to Chanel that Holly is just a student to him, and he has no idea why she sent him those photos. Chanel is livid, and Johnny wishes he had an explanation. Chanel asks about the letter from Tesoro's mom, but Johnny has no explanation for it either. Johnny swears he'll do everything he can to fix this, but Chanel says it's too late. She fears that when the social worker turns in her report, they'll lose the chance to adopt any child. Johnny swears they will have a family, and he won't let anyone get in the way of that, and asks her to have faith in him. Chanel says she does believe him, and they embrace. At the dorms, Sophia recalls sending Johnny the photos of Holly and learning from Ari that Holly was in the hospital. Sophia ends up resetting and erasing Holly's phone, as well as turning off the sharing location feature. Ari shows up and tells Sophia that there is a lot of smoke damage to their room, and they must move to another one. Suddenly, Holly's phone begins buzzing in Sophia's pocket. Ari asks if she's going to get that. Sophia says it's probably her mom calling again about the blackout. She then rushes off to work. Back at Johnny and Chanel's, he tries to call Holly, but there is no answer. He then texts her to call him ASAP. Not wanting to wait around, decides to find her and takes off. Later, Paulina arrives with a big teddy bear and can't wait to hear about Chanel and Johnny's visit with the social worker. Chanel breaks down and Paulina comforts her. Chanel tells her mom about the letter Tesoro's birth mother wrote to the social worker and the bizarre photos from Holly on Johnny's phone. Paulina asks where Johnny is, and Chanel says he's looking for Holly. Paulina finds all of this suspicious and asks if this thing with Holly and Johnny could be real. Chanel believes her husband that there is nothing going on, but the damage is already done. She fears she'll never be a mother. In Horton Square, Tate tells his dad that this breakup with Holly feels final to him. He doesn't understand how Holly found out that he kissed Sophia. Soon, Johnny finds Tate and Brady and asks if they know where Holly is. Brady and Tate fill him in on what happened at the dorms and that she's in the hospital. Tate heads off to work, and Johnny asks when he can see Holly. Brady asks what is really going on. Brady learns that Holly supposedly sexted Johnny, and the social worker saw the photos. Brady explains that Holly was hammered last night and fought with Tate, but he doesn't see her doing this. Brady also learns about the letter from Tesoro's birth mother against him. Brady encourages Johnny to hang in there, but he appears to be connecting the dots. Outside the Brady pub, Tate catches Sophia burying Holly's phone in the trash can. He asks what she's doing. Sophia explains she threw her coffee cup away and may have dropped her phone in, but then claims she found it and it was in her pocket. Maggie takes Holly back to the dorms, and they run into Ari. Holly apologizes, and Ari says everyone is okay, but they are being evicted from their room. Ari explains that a lot of their belongings are damaged, and she packed up what she could save. Ari also reveals they have to face a disciplinary committee. Holly didn't receive that message, as she doesn't have her phone. Ari says she didn't see it in their room when she cleaned up. Kayla runs into Brady in Horton Square. He reveals Johnny and Chanel's home study didn't go well, and fills her in about the letter the social worker got from Tesoro's birth mother. It's clear that the mother has it in for Johnny, Chanel, and Holly, and all the evidence points to Sophia. He asks again if she's certain the test results were correct. Kayla says she'll run them again to be sure. At the pub, Sophia asks Tate if Holly is okay. Tate says she will be, and Sophia hopes he and Holly will be okay too. Tate doesn't want to discuss it. At the dorms, Holly can't find her phone anywhere. Maggie suggests they use the Find My Phone app, but it claims her phone was last at the dorms. So where is it now? At home, Paulina assures Chanel that being a mother is in her future, and nobody deserves a baby more than her. There has to be an explanation for what happened today. Johnny soon returns and tells Paulina and Chanel about the fire and that he couldn't talk to Holly. However, he's going to get answers as to who did this to them and why. It probably won't come as a surprise to anyone who's been watching Days of Our Lives to know that the family member that Julie's welcoming to town on Friday's episode is Stephanie's ex, Jeremy Horton. Julie, after all, mentioned he was moving back last week, much to Stephanie's dismay. Julie, of course, may not remember why that could be a bad thing, but we do. And you can find out what happened here. Since we haven't seen the face of Abigail's stalker just yet, we're betting he's the one who's been lurking around, following her with one stormy night in hand and carrying around flowers. While we may not know that just yet, we do know who will be playing Jeremy. Michael Rourke. A Days of Our Lives show rep confirmed that the former The Young and the Restless actor, who we learned back in June would soon be showing up in Salem, is taking over the role of Mike Horton's troubled son. Trevor Donovan originated the role as an adult back in 2007, for a brief but memorable run. Of course, it's very possible that Jeremy has, in the years since we saw him, worked through his demons and come out a better person for it. Julie certainly seemed happy to be welcoming him home. If he has become a better person, then Salem would be lucky to have another Horton back home permanently. But if not, then Abigail might end up being right to be so worried about their past and using it in one stormy night. Even if Jeremy does turn out to be the stalker, it doesn't mean he's doing it for nefarious reasons. He could just be trying to work up the courage to see Stephanie after all he'd done and apologize. Either way, Julie is excited for his return, so let's just hope Jeremy isn't just one more in a string of family members who ends up breaking her heart. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week of October 6th reveal that Johnny Dimera will fight to prove he is innocent. Rachel Black has more drama coming up. Plus, there is some blackmail. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Thomas Dimera. The little boy has always liked Kat Green. It didn't even seem to bother him much when he addressed Chad Dimera's feelings for Kat. However, now Rachel has dropped the bombshell that Kat impersonated Thomas's dead mother, Abigail Dimera. So, now that Chad and Kat have been intimate, that will complicate their relationship. Despite how Chad tries to explain things, Thomas might change his tune toward Kat. Next up, we have Jeremy Horton returning. The man shows up at Stephanie Johnson's door. It definitely rattles her, but he might claim he's not there to start trouble. Julie Williams will be thrilled that Jeremy is back in Salem. However, if he ends up working at the hospital gala, that could present a problem for Stephanie. The woman might ask EJ to do something, but he'll probably tell her to get used to it. Stephanie will need to be careful because EJ now knows she is Anastasia Sands. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the week of October 6th, reveal that Xander Cook Kyriakis and Sarah Horton Kyriakis take their next step. They will probably have couples therapy together, which is a great idea. However, just when they get back together, could the truth about Philip Kyriakis' attack come out? Fans will see Holly Jonas face consequences for the college dorm fire. She could get kicked out of college, or even face legal consequences. Maggie Horton Kyriakis gives Holly some tough love. However, when Johnny Dimera confronts Holly about the photos, she will claim she never took or sent any pictures. If Johnny has a friend in AI, then he likely has other expert friends in other fields. So, Holly and Johnny could work together to clear both of their names. As for Tesoro, the DNA test showed Tate Black isn't the father. Does that mean Sophia Choi's baby daddy could be Aaron Green? So stay tuned. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates suggest that Andre Dimera's major announcement might disrupt Salem. Could a swap involving Tony Dimera come to light and create turmoil for the Dimera family? Because Tony and Andre look like identical twins, there's always a chance for some switching antics on Days. This is particularly true as Tony's actions have been increasingly nefarious lately. According to Days spoilers, this pattern is set to persist in the upcoming weeks since Tony will play a significant role in E.J. Dimera's dubious hospital schemes. E.J. is using the free clinic as a smokescreen for the outrageous experiments he plans to conduct in secret, some of them appearing to be Dr. Wilhelm Rolf-like procedures. Considering Megan Hathaway, Dimera's daughter-in-law, Gwen Rizchek von Lochner, is financing, it's possible Megan may be involved in this too. The resurrection of Stefano Dimera in some capacity is on the horizon, and Tony is eager for the chaos that will ensue. Nonetheless, there's another resurrection of Dimera that could already be influencing Salem. Tony just doesn't seem to embody his true self anymore, which might explain the change. It's quite possible that this is actually a resurrected Andre, who could be masquerading as Tony with a hidden agenda. If that's true, EJ might already be aware of Andre stepping into Tony's role. Fans of Duel certainly wouldn't be surprised if Andre and EJ were collaborating on this scheme. Characters from Days like Chad Dimera, Theo Carver, and Anna Dimera are likely completely unaware if this is indeed Andre. Theo might come to regret getting involved in the Dimera family drama once again if a shocking Andre swap is revealed. Anna will be particularly appalled if she discovers that her cherished Tony has actually been Andre for an unknown period. Naturally, if the Kyriakis family manages to uncover the truth about Tony's real identity, it could provide them with some leverage in the battle to maintain Titan Dimera. This could potentially yield some blackmail material, which is definitely worth considering. In any case, Tony's actions are becoming increasingly strange each day, almost as if he's not Tony at all. Do you believe that Tony is really Andre? And that a major revelation will shake Salem sooner or later? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Duel right now. Come back here often for Days of Our Lives spoilers, news, and updates. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, October 2nd, indicate some major moments in Salem. Someone is devastated by news, while another character panics, and someone has a confession to make. Time to talk about what fans should expect from Thursday's show. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Thursday, October 2nd, reveal that Chanel Dimera will be devastated. In light of Janelle's adoption of Tesoro being denied, who could blame her? She felt so close to finally growing their family, it makes sense why she'd be so upset. But is there any hope for her and Johnny Dimera to move forward? Especially since Chanel thinks Johnny may have an inappropriate texting relationship with his former stepsister, Holly Jonas. Speaking of, Sophia Choi will be in a panic during the October 2nd episode. She concocted a plan where she sent saucy photos of Holly to Johnny's text, while the girl was in her dorm room while she drank. With that said, Holly almost died in her dorm room fire, which all occurred around 9 o'clock, the very time she sent those texts to the adoption social worker to attempt to prove Johnny and Holly's texting relationship. This would undeniably prove that Johnny has been set up and could point to Sophia as the person who set it all up. How will Sophia weasel her way out of this one? Read this. Days of Our Lives, spoilers week of October 6th, Johnny fights to prove innocence, EJ's blackmail, Rachel's backlash. Finally, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, note that Tate Black will confide in his father, Brady Black, about something. What could this be about? He's already confessed mostly all his wrongdoings to his father already, so what will he admit to now? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Thursday's show? Share your thoughts. Soap Hub's Alina Adams caught up with Deidra Hall at the Broadcasting's Cable Hall of Fame Awards in New York City, where Days of Our Lives was honored with the Iconic Show Award. The actress reflected on her decades as Salem's guiding light, the loss of her longtime on-screen partner, and what she hopes lies ahead for Marlena, an answer that may surprise fans. For nearly 50 years, Deidra Hall has been synonymous with Days. Her character has lived through some of the soap's most unforgettable moments, shocking deaths, fan revolts, supernatural possessions, and deeply human stories about love and family. Asked what it's been like to embody Marlena through so many eras, Hall gave credit where she feels it's due. "It always comes down to the writing," she said. "If it's not on the page, it can't be magic. And you can't make something out of something that isn't there. I'm always grateful to our writers. They seem to like her a lot. They write her interesting things, and they put her in complex situations." One question many fans wanted to know: how has Hall adjusted to playing Marlena without her iconic partner, John Black? The actress admitted she doesn't let herself dwell on the absence. "There were so many days that I came to work that I wasn't working with him," she explained. "And now, it just sort of feels like, oh, he's not here today. He's not working today, and that's as deeply as I let myself go." When it comes to Marlena's future, fans might expect Hall to push for another larger-than-life storyline, perhaps another supernatural twist or a sweeping romance. But her hopes are much simpler. More time with her family, more time with her granddaughter, more time with Belle, more time with Brady, Hall shared. "I think we're all in a hungry place for family. Obviously, with all that's going on in the world. We miss our support team and we miss our comfort. And so I hope it's a lot about family." Her words may surprise viewers accustomed to Marlena battling demons, both literal and figurative. But for Hall, the most powerful drama now comes from strengthening bonds with loved ones, something she believes resonates even more deeply in today's world. Hall's reflections came on a milestone night for Days of Our Lives, as the show was celebrated with the iconic show award at the Broadcasting Cable Hall of Fame Gala. With Marlena at the heart of the soap for decades, Hall's vision of family-first storytelling may just be the grounding force fans didn't realize they needed. Check out the interview below. Lately on Days of Our Lives, Marlena has been haunted by unsettling dreams that seem to hint at something darker on the horizon, possibly even the return of the Phoenix himself, Stefano Dimera. They have hinted at her time as the Queen of the Night, when Stefano used hypnosis and mind-altering drugs on her, leaving her vulnerable to demonic possession. And now, Deidra Hall herself is reflecting on that wild storyline and what it meant, both for her and the audience, in a new interview. Hall appeared on New York Living to talk about Duel and its landmark 60th anniversary. She explained that when she first heard about the possession story, she had her doubts, but she was quickly convinced it would work if handled with care. "My only request was, do it tastefully, do it well," she said, adding that the writers really did manage to ground the supernatural twist in a way that fit the tone of the show. She also revealed how she learned about the storyline, recalling that she was called upstairs and told directly that she would be the one possessed by the devil. "We had Christmas trees catching fire, things happening, and they called me upstairs, and I thought, that's never a good sign." While the concept stunned her at the time, she gave it her full commitment, and the results became one of the defining arcs of her career. Hall praised those hard workers behind the scenes for the show's longevity. "My opinion, a lot of people doing a lot of things right." She also praised the fan base for being there through thick and thin. Calling the viewers the most loyal fans in the world, Hall further stated that the support contributed to an evolution from where you started to where you are now. For Hall, the connection runs deeper than just storylines. She emphasized that the cast and crew feel like true family, especially when rallying together through loss, such as the recent passing of longtime co-star Drake Hogestyn. As Marlena's current dreams spark speculation about what's next, Hall's look back at her most shocking storyline is a reminder that in Salem, anything, even possession, is possible. Deidra Hall, James Reynolds, and Eric Martsolf are opening up about their Days of Our Lives family as the Peacock soap hits a couple of major milestones. The three legends didn't hold back in reflecting on 6 decades of life in Salem. The other day, Martsolf, Hall, Donham, and Reynolds stopped by the Today Show to spill some Days tea. They were in New York City to celebrate Days' induction into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. Hall has had quite a run on the Peacock soap, celebrating 50 years in 2026, which the Today hosts brought up. The actress admitted she never could have imagined that, but there's a good reason why she sticks around Salem. "It's such a home and we love it," Hall expressed. "I know we talk about family. It's a family." That led into the upcoming 60th anniversary celebration, which will take place in November and will see even more Day's family members back in the mix. As Soap Hub revealed, major stars are coming back to Salem for the gala to open the Tom Horton Free Clinic. Hall reiterated that the show is really a family when discussing how Days has stayed the same over 6 decades. "We stay true to what is current and we stay true to family. We are a family-owned and family-run," she explained. Martsolf, Reynolds, and Hall were put to the Days test during their Today Show appearance. All 3 stars knew their stuff. Reynolds recalled the name of the island Abe was on with other Salemites when they were all presumed dead over 20 years ago. Martsolf revealed why Brady unleashed his fury on Kristen when she was in jail this most recent time. Finally, Hall answered how many times Marlena was possessed and the song playing when she levitated both times. So much fun watching these 3 together and reflecting on all things Days. The 52nd Annual Daytime Emmy Awards are almost here, and the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences just unveiled its lineup of presenters. Fans can expect a star-studded mix of soap favorites, talk show personalities, and lifestyle experts at the ceremony on Friday, October 17, 2025, live from the Pasadena Civic Auditorium. The big night will stream on Watch, the Emmys.tv, and the Emmys SAR app. The daytime drama world will be well represented this year, with some of the genre's most beloved names taking the stage. General Hospital will be spotlighted by Alexa Havens-Bruening and Rory Gibson, while The Bold and the Beautiful brings Scott Clifton and Lisa Yamadata. Days of Our Lives is sending Dan Foyer-Regal, Deidra Hall, and Cherie Jimenez, while The Young and the Restless has Michael Mealer and Michelle Stafford on deck. Here's a closer look at the soap stars confirmed to present. The presenters list doesn't stop at daytime dramas. Natas confirmed that Carla Hall, Cardia Brown, Egypt Sherrod, and Mike Jackson, Ross Matthews, Judge Lauren Lake, Brad Bestelink, and Joseph Rosendo will also appear. This year's ceremony will also feature a special moment for Deborah Norville, the longest-serving female anchor in American television history. Norville will receive the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, recognizing her decades of contributions to journalism and broadcasting. For soap lovers who dream of seeing their favorites in person, a limited number of tickets are still available through Ticketmaster for $75 plus fees. Audience members will have the chance to cheer on stars like Hall, Stafford, Clifton, and Mealer as they take the stage. Few award shows offer such intimate access to daytime's brightest names, making this year's Daytime Emmys an especially coveted ticket. Since 1974, the Daytime Emmy Awards have honored outstanding achievement across soaps, talk shows, culinary programs, and more. This year introduces new categories such as Outstanding Culinary Cultural Series, Outstanding Emerging Talent in a Daytime Drama Series, and Outstanding Regional Content in a Daytime Genre. With fresh honors, a glittering lineup of presenters, and a tribute to Deborah Norville, the 52nd Annual Daytime Emmys promise to be a night packed with history, glamour, and unforgettable moments. Soap Hub's Alina Adams caught up with Abigail Klein at the 33rd Annual Broadcasting plus Cable Hall of Fame Awards, where Days of Our Lives was honored with the iconic show award. Klein opened up about what it means to play Stephanie Johnson, how she connects with the show's history, and what fans can expect next. For Klein, playing Stephanie Johnson isn't just another role. It's stepping into a family tradition that stretches back to Stephanie's on-screen birth. "It's so cool," Klein said. "Now knowing Steve, and Mary Beth, Kayla, who play my TV parents, it's so special to think that it was Mary Beth's daughter that played Stephanie when she was a newborn baby. How cute is that?" Though Klein has been with the show for only 3 years, she feels deeply connected to the role and the series itself. "I know that I am still a newbie, a rookie, compared to all these veterans," she admitted. "But that's what makes it even more special, to be the sponge and soak it all up. I feel very protective of the brand and of the show and the people, the cast and the crew, and everything that it takes to put it together for so long." When she first stepped into the role, Klein didn't get a crash course in Stephanie's tangled past from the production team. Instead, she turned to the people who know it best, the fans. "I had no idea," she confessed. "You know who helped me were the fans. Looking at all these fan pages online, they broke down exactly what happened to Stephanie, who broke her heart, who she threw down the stairs, who kidnapped her, everything. So I learned all I needed to learn from the fans, funny enough. He is the last person that she would expect to see," Klein teased. "It's been over 15 years since they last saw each other, so you're in for a ride. But it's not what you think. Whatever you think may happen, it's going to surprise you." So how does Klein create decades of backstory with an actor she's just meeting? By finding common ground off-screen. She praised Michael Rourke, who steps in as Jeremy, for being easygoing and collaborative. "Even at the chemistry read we read together, and he was just so easy to get along with," she said. Together, they talked through Jeremy and Stephanie's fraught past. It was a little dark, and maybe a little emotionally toxic. "We really love each other as people, so we thought, let's roll with it and hope it translates." And I think it did. With Days honored as an iconic show at the Hall of Fame Gala, Klein knows she's part of something bigger. "It's iconic to be a part of this show," she said. And for Stephanie Johnson, the next chapter is only just beginning. Check out the interview below. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, October 3rd reveal that Paulina won't let EJ get away with causing the Salem blackout, while Chad starts to suspect that all is not well with little Thomas. Paulina didn't know what caused the blackout, but she was sure EJ was responsible. And boy, was she delighted when it turned out her random guess was correct. Now she can upbraid the Dimera scion with all the self-righteousness she can manage. She will make sure that he is punished for this, both legally and socially. And that will be good for the people of Salem, somehow. After all, no Dimera will open a free clinic on Paulina's watch. Rachel filled Thomas in on his dad kissing Kat. Thomas was upset, but kept it to himself, even though Julie thought he seemed a little off. Now Chad is trying to suss out what's got his son so upset. But Thomas is a Dimera too. He knows how to keep secrets until they can do the most damage. And this is one he needs to reveal at just the right time. Gwen knows what it's like to be the town pariah. And yet, she keeps coming back to Salem anyway. Kat isn't exactly beloved either, but she doesn't have as many options as newly wealthy Gwen. And besides, she's here on a job for Rafe. Kat needs a Dimera contact, and Gwen needs a new friend. So the two reconnect and plot further mischief. Stephanie confessed to EJ and Kayla that she is smut writer Anastasia. Now she has a confession to make to Alex, the person who initially wanted her to go public. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the October 3rd, 225 episode tease a big day for Kat. After a catch-up with Gwen, is Kat about to get some unfortunate news from Chad? Gwen and Kat go to dinner. Another Horton is about to enter the Days of Our Lives and Salem scene on Friday when The Young and the Restless slum Michael Rourke airs for the first time as Jeremy, Stephanie's ex and Jennifer's nephew. Daytime fans may remember Rourke from his 2016 stint on YNR, in which he played Travis Crawford, a man Victoria picked up in a bar and almost married when she was trying to explore a wilder side. That romance didn't last long, and Travis disappeared as quickly as he had appeared. There was a whole road we were going to take with the character, and there was an interest on both sides for me to stay. But we just hit a stalemate with contract talks, Rourke told Soap Opera Digest of his YNR exit. I think it was a timing issue more than anything. There was never any bad blood. I enjoyed it, and I was willing to stay in the right circumstances. Rourke's other credits include NCIS, Los Angeles, Fatal Beauty, Driven, and Bennett's War. Jeremy Horton was born on screen in 1989 to Dr. Mike Horton and his former fiancée, Dr. Robin Jacobs. Robin and Mike raised Jeremy off-screen in Israel, but an adult Jeremy made his way home to Salem in 2007, played by current Hallmark heartthrob Trevor Donovan. During his time in Salem, he was involved with Stephanie Johnson and showed his abusive side. When he finally left town later that year, it was to get his life together and become a better person. Julie has already mentioned that her cousin was planning on paying a visit. With Jennifer also in town to write a story for The Spectator, it will be one big family reunion, as Jeremy is Jennifer's nephew. One person who will be decidedly unhappy to see Jeremy is Stephanie, who just moved in with Alex Kyriakis. When he shows up at her new front door, Stephanie won't quite know what to say. Later this year, Jeremy will even be reunited with his father when Rourke Critchlow returns as Mike Horton. On Days of Our Lives, Sophia is running out of time and options. Her tangled web of lies has grown quite complex this week, taking her vendettas against Holly, Chanel, and Johnny to a new level. Besides her not-so-subtle attempt at wreaking havoc on Holly and Tate's relationship, she tried to throw a permanent wrench in Chanel and Johnny's dream to adopt. However, a series of sloppy mistakes may topple her plan like a collapsed house of cards. Sophia's master plan to destroy Chanel's and Johnny's adoption hopes may have gone up in flames. After spiking Holly's drink with a much heavier pour, she took things further the following morning by using Holly's phone to send revealing snapshots to Johnny. While Johnny was indeed caught receiving the images, and the social worker bolted out of their apartment, the timing doesn't make any sense, thanks to an unexpected fire in Holly's dorm. At the time she sent the photo to Johnny from Holly's phone, she was being carried to safety in a smoky blaze by Tate's father, Brady Black. Thankfully for Sophia, nobody has caught on to that mistake, yet. On Thursday's new episode, her desperation to erase the evidence reached a fever pitch after hearing of the fire. She factory reset the phone, turning off the phone's location services in the process. Unfortunately, not only did Tate nearly catch her disposing of the phone in a trash can, but Holly tracked the last usage of her device to the dorm while she was lying in a hospital bed. Her plan is unraveling fast, and it won't be long until Johnny recalls discussing the adoption with her, rendering her one of the only people aware of the social worker's upcoming visit. Even if Johnny and Holly don't put the pieces together about who is using a voodoo doll on their lives, Brady is closer than ever to discovering the truth about Sophia and the baby she gave up. Although a secretly run DNA test officially proved Tate is not Tesoro's biological father, Brady is seemingly the only one aware of the situation's fishy foundation. Regardless of the results, he's holding on to his hunch that Sophia's oration of the Chicago adoption is a tall tale. If he follows the breadcrumbs dropped all over town, it won't be long until he realizes she is behind Holly and Johnny's sudden, unfortunate luck. The bad blood between Sophia and Holly reignited last week after Tate's ill-advised attempt to get the truth out of the former. Pretending to be interested in his scheming baby mama to expose her lies had a monumental ripple effect. Not only did this end his relationship with Holly, but it also caused a substantial escalation in the lengths that Sophia was willing to go through to cover her tracks. With her back against the wall, who knows what she will do under immense pressure? Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Chad and Kat have finally taken their relationship to the next level, but it sure doesn't look as if there will be smooth sailing from here on out. In fact, quite the contrary. First, Chad notices something is off with Thomas and questions his son about what could be wrong. Will Thomas reveal that Rachel told him he saw Kat and Chad kissing? He thought they were just friends and is not sure he wants Kat to be his dad's new girlfriend. Thomas didn't seem to have a problem when Chad was dating Stephanie and even moved her in with them. Why would he object to Kat when he doesn't know the truth about her impersonating his mother? As for Kat, she finally agrees to go to lunch with Gwen. Is Kat about to use Gwen to get information on EJ for her ISA case? Julie is happy to welcome another family member back to Salem in the form of Jeremy Horton, Mike Horton's son, with Dr. Robin Jacobs. She is thrilled when he shows up at her door, ready for a family reunion. With Jennifer also in town, he can also reunite with his father's sister. One person who might not be so happy to see Jeremy is Stephanie. She had quite a past with the man, and things didn't end well at all. When Alex and Stephanie have a heart-to-heart talk, does she tell him about her past with Jeremy? Or does she let him know she spilled the Anastasia Sands news to Kayla? Stephanie had been so determined to keep her side career under wraps, but once one person knows, the news will start to spread like wildfire. When Stephanie is alone, she has a moment of truth. Someone is at the door, and it's not someone she wants to see. Our bets are on Jeremy making his way around Salem well.